So you're thinking about moving to Daybreak here in South Jordan, Utah. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you a tour of what Daybreak and the Daybreak community has to offer. Daybreak is a master plan community spanning over 4,000 acres, and it's one of the most popular places to live here in Salt Lake County, and it's one of the fastest growing places here in the state of Utah. But before we jump into the video, my name is Marvin Alvarado, the Sneakerhead Realtor here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I get calls and messages from people just like you every single day looking to make their move here to the state of Utah, and I love hearing from you guys. So if you're thinking about making a move here in the next 3 days, 3 months, or even a year from now, feel free to reach out to me. You can call me, text me, email me, do whatever you need to do to get a hold of me. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to helping you make your move to Utah as smooth as possible. Now, let's jump into the video. All right, so let's jump into the video here. So, Daybreak is located about 25 minutes from downtown Salt Lake City. And there's several different communities or villages, as they call it here in this area. A couple of the communities or villages to kind of highlight here is the Creekside Village, which is just on the northwest side of the Ochre Lake. It's actually named after the creek that runs from the Brookside Park to the lake. And then we also have the North Shore Village here on this side. This is Daybreak's third phase of development, which opened up in 2008. The initial development of Daybreak started in 2004 and has continued to evolve, and to new areas being added since then. Even now on the upper level here of the Daybreak area, there's a lot of new construction going on. So there's a lot of new homes that you can get into, and there's just it's going to continue to evolve probably for the next several years before it's even remotely done. But then we also one of the unique communities here in the Daybreak community is the island, which it literally does sit here on an island surrounding the Ochre Lake. I have another video which I'll tag below. It's kind of a little bit of a driving tour about this area. But this is just on the literally sits on the center of Daybreak. There's about 160 lots here on the island that either sit right on the waterfront or they're less than 2 blocks from the lake. There's a couple bridges to get through walking or driving. And then we have over here on the upper level, like I said, the Cascade Village, which is right near the water course, which is a new area here in Daybreak that is continuing to grow. The water course is going to have the ability to get paddle boards on it, and just do water activities. There's also a really cool park that we'll kind of talk about here in just a moment. But let's also take a look at a map here of the Daybreak community. So like I said, the Daybreak community is about 25 to 30 minutes to downtown Salt Lake City, and it sits on the southwest corner of Salt Lake County. So the Daybreak community, like I said, there's a lot of new construction going on. A couple of things to highlight. This is one of the communities that I was talking about here, the North Shore. So this area of Daybreak is going to have a lot of townhomes, a lot of condos here in this area, a lot of more affordable housing. Homes in the 400,000. Townhomes. You could also potentially find some condos that are going to be in the 300 range or less, for smaller condos. One of the new things about this area of Daybreak is the new Harmon's grocery store. This is a really popular grocery store here in Salt Lake City or in the state of Utah. A lot of local products are being sold here. There's also a lot of unique products that you don't typically find at the other grocery stores that we have here in the state of Utah. It's one of my favorite places to shop at. It's going to be a little bit more on the more expensive side if you're comparing it to like a Smith's, but the produce is really good. If you're looking to get some meat or chicken, it's also really good quality. But that's, like I said, that's one of the newer things here in the Daybreak community. And then we have here the Ochre Lake, which you have the ability to rent like little boats. You can go paddle boarding, kayaking, you can fish. So you have the ability to be able to rent those things out as a resident of the Daybreak community, which you can rent those type of things here at the beach clubs. You can rent little boats at the beach club here. As a resident, you just have to bring your cards and be able to present those there in order to be able to check those out. But this is a community that I was also talking about, the island, which you can drive through here to these both sides here, and then there's also some bridges that you can walk across. But one of the things here in this community that's kind of like the main focal point also of the Daybreak community is Soda Row. So essentially Soda Row is a downtown of Daybreak. There's a barber shop there. There's a veterinary. There's also a few restaurants. So we have Tio's Mexican food. We have the Break Sports Grill. Then we have Cup Bop, which is a local Korean restaurant rated a 4.7 with almost 3,000 reviews. So if you're into Korean food, then maybe something you want to check out. But there's a few other things here in the area. This is where also they do like a lot of the concerts and just summer activities for the Daybreak community. During the summer and the weekends, they'll have like a farmers market here on Soda Row. But one of the other cool things about the Daybreak community is that there's tons of parks here to be able to use as a resident of Daybreak. So for example, we have this park over here, which is right near the lake. We have a park over on this side as well, a dog park over here. So there's lots of activities, and then obviously around like the lake, for example, and through the communities there's tons of trails for biking and just being able to take walks on. So that's probably one of the major things about the Daybreak community is that you have access to all sorts of different activities, and like I said, being able to rent those those water things to be able to take out on the lake, like the paddle boards and kayaks and those type of things. And then the Daybreak community is also has a track station, which they have the ability to be able to take the tracks. If you work downtown, you don't necessarily have to drive. You can take the tracks down downtown. So something to consider also, if you don't really want to drive 25 to 30 minutes downtown, you could potentially save on some gas and take the tracks down. But the Daybreak community also does have a Smith's grocery store, which I kind of touched on that, comparing it to the Harmon's. Smith's is also a great grocery store. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit more on the affordable side. They also still have a lot of great produce and a lot of great things that you can pick up there. But it is you do have the ability to save a little bit of money if you're looking to shop there versus Harmon's. But one of the cool things also that I like about this area of Daybreak, the upper side of Daybreak, is like I said, the watercourse area is one of the newer parks that is still being built and is going to continue to grow. But essentially, this is going to be like the lake where you have the ability to take paddle boards and kayaks out on for the upper side of the Daybreak community. So this is like I said, going to continue to evolve, and there's a lot of great things that are going to happen. But this is an area that has a lot of construction, a lot of new homes being built. You can find homes here in the $800 to $1 million price point, because there is a lot of new construction, you still have the ability to be able to pick some of the things out that the builder has to offer. So if you have any questions about the builders here in Daybreak, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, or talk to you about the communities and builders that are available here in Daybreak. But one of the cool things also about this area is that they have a park called the Spoke, which is kind of a trail for bikes, right? So it's more specific, I guess, BMX bikes. So they have a trail with some jumps, which is pretty unique to Daybreak, because this is not something that most cities offer or most communities are going to offer. But it's a really cool park for kids, if this is something that they're into, that most other communities are not going to have available. And then we have the Skyward Park here. This is also another park here on the upper side of Daybreak. But overall, this community has so much to offer, and it's it'd be impossible to kind of go over all the parks just because there's so many. But one of the things to keep in mind here with the Daybreak community is that, as you can see, it starts here on about 40th West. And then it goes all the way up here to the far west of South Jordan. So obviously, there's still a lot of new construction that could potentially happen over here in this area. And just recently, a few months ago, it was announced that the Bees Stadium was actually going to be moving to Daybreak. So that should, the construction should be starting here soon, and should be open here in the next few years. Currently, the Bees Stadium is located down in Salt Lake City, so downtown Salt Lake area, South Salt Lake. So that'll be moving over here to this area, and should add a lot of activities for the Daybreak community. It should be adding some value to the homes here in Daybreak. But overall, like I said, Daybreak has a lot of great things. You have the Mountain View corridor that runs right through the middle of Daybreak. So you have access to the Mountain View corridor that takes you all the way down to I-80, and then you can take that all the way down to downtown Salt Lake City. But there is also a 55 and over community here in the Daybreak neighborhoods as well. So it's about right here, I believe. So if you're 55 and over, want to be in a community that's going to be a little more quiet, and just kind of be able to be in a community with other 55 and over people, then that's something that you have an option to as well. One of the things here that I would recommend is the Biscott's Bakery and Cafe. It's just a little cafe here local to Daybreak, but they have a lot of great things here. Let's take a look, see. So there's a lot of great things here. You have some sandwiches, pastries. So it's just a little shop here in this area. So I would definitely recommend taking that out or checking that out. There's also a couple of baseball fields over in this area as well. But overall, I would highly recommend, if you're thinking about moving to South Jordan or the South Jordan area, and you want to be in a master plan community, this is an area I would highly recommend that you check out. You have access to a lot of rec centers, pools, gyms here as being part of this community. An awesome community to be a part of. The HOA is a little bit on the higher end, but totally worth it. If you have kids and like to do a lot of fun things, outdoor, and take the kids out, on the paddleboard or kayaking. So you can definitely take advantage of those type of things. But overall, if you have any questions about the Daybreak community or want to, know more about it, feel free to leave a comment below. You can also call me, text me, email me. Like I said, do whatever you need to do to get a hold of me. I look forward to hearing from you. Other than that, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.